All right, everyone, welcome, welcome. As we wait just a few minutes, we're going to have a few people still join in. So let me say happy Saturday and welcome back to Caribbean Diaspora Vibes. While we took a little rest, a little summer break here and there, and we are back to serve you. My name is Donna Morgan, and I am the president of Caribbean American Diaspora, president of Women of Culture Incorporated, real estate broker at Florida Summer Homes Realty, and mindset coach at Inner Vibes Consulting. We are joined this evening by Dr. Bavon Dabrio, which we will get to see once I stop sharing my screen. And our radio host, Mr. Lewis Witter, is actually taking a break today. So we're going to just get started while we wait for folks to join us. You are listening to Caribbean Diaspora Vibes.
Good evening.
Purchase your beats today.
All right. We want to welcome you to our 2022 Jamaica Independence, celebrating 60 years on August 6th. We want to welcome you, each and every one. And today's forum is going to be all about champions of Jamaica, champions that are in Jamaica, working on the ground, champions that are in the diaspora, Jamaicans in the diaspora, or Jamaican heritage in the diaspora, continuing to give back. It's not easy to be in another country and you have to worry about what's going on in the country that you migrated to, and then still find time to give back to your heritage. And it takes some extra level of godness. And
Amen.
because it takes a lot of time. You're here, you're dealing with family situation, the current things, all the trials and the tribulations and the valleys and all these things right here. But still something deep down says, you know what? I still have to pay tribute. I still have to give back in some kind of way. And so that's what this forum is about. It's a little different. We've been celebrating, Jamaica independence probably from August 1st. And so this forum is all about champions. And the name just kind of came to me like, bam, champions. I want you all to know that that is what you represent, whether you're in Jamaica or you're in the diaspora, wherever you are, giving back to your country. In lieu of time, we're going to get started. First guest is actually traveling, so we're going to jump to her first, just so that she can get out of the parking lot or move, not be on the side of the road. That's never a safe place to be, especially at the dusk. It starts to gather dust. So we are going to actually, she has a video, so let me go back and try to share. This video that you're going to hear from, it's Kids Conquering Sickle Cell Disease. Actually, snippet. They are just coming back from Jamaica, and it's just a little snippet of their time there. Just make that a little bigger. That video was a snippet of Carla Lewis, who's the founder and director of Kids Conquering Sickle Cell. And she's taken her journey, not just here in the US, but home in Jamaica. Welcome, Carla. Tell us a little snippet. So each of our champion gets up to 10 minutes to just tell us, about how you are serving in Jamaica.
Hi, I'm Carla Lewis, founder of Kids Conquering Sickle Cell Disease Foundation. I started the foundation, actually started as a support group in 2004. And in 2014, we became a nonprofit organization. The journey of me starting the foundation was pretty much because the community was lacking resources in order to educate and just provide other assistance for those living with sickle cell and other hemoglobin disorders. So 2 years ago, I just got a vision and I wanted to do something, wasn't sure what I was going to do for Jamaica. And I got a vision that I needed to start a program in Jamaica. So we started the One Love International Education and Aid Program in Jamaica. This is our second year where we provide educational sessions. So I actually go to Jamaica, provide educational sessions in Montego Bay and Black River. These two places are pretty much very much in need of education and just contact in order to better help those living with sickle cell have more knowledge about the disease and the resources that are there in Jamaica. Why is it different or why was it necessary? Within the US, we have 4 treatments available for sickle cell disease. And after doing some research, I realized that Jamaica only has one. And that particular treatment was hydroxyurea, which is a medication. So they have treatments as far as pain medication. And sickle cell disease is a blood disorder which causes blood cells to form a abnormal shape. They more referred to as a sickle shape, um, because it's named after the tool, farm tool sickle, and it causes difficulty for oxygen to flow through the veins into providing oxygen to all parts of the body. Also at risk for stroke and other complications. Pain is one of the essential complications that it does cause people are familiar with, but it does cause slow destruction of organs. So, an early death in some cases. So, I thought it was very much important for me to gather just more information and be able to provide more family members and caregivers, as well as the individuals living with sickle cell, just more knowledge about the disease for better outcomes. And so we had a great time actually in Jamaica, being able to provide a fun session, provide educational information, and letting them know about the resource of hydroxyurea. Interesting enough, the treatment hydroxyurea is a chemotherapy medication, low dose chemotherapy medication. Even though it's there in Jamaica and have accessibility, not everyone have access to it. The only place that it pretty much is, I want to say, introduced for the availability is more so at the university in Kingston. Now, that is so much difficulty, of course, in those getting from that area, Montego Bay, those that have no car, Black Rivers up in the country, and other places are just far distance for people to travel. So as far as getting that particular medication at a low cost, or actually on a particular grant where they can get it accessible for free, but it also comes with the responsibility of having monthly blood work. Not everyone can afford to travel, but it's necessary. So it was necessary to inform them the benefits of hydroxyurea, because that medication is available if they can have access to it. And I pretty much encourage them to inquire about it, especially if their child is having difficulty. Within my visit, I also got to also visit Black River Hospital. That's where we did one of our educational sessions. Um, Definitely, we know that Jamaica is a third world, country, and they do not have access to, medical advances such as what the U.S. has. And certainly, walking into the hospital and visiting the pediatric unit, I was still taken back, because it just seemed like I walked into a movie. And it was surprising to me that just walking in and I can see patients on a lower level just next to each other, no partition, curtain to separate them. They were basically in a unit, and you can hear everything that's going on. So it was like no privacy also. But walking into the pediatric unit was pretty much similar. And I realized that, the advances and benefits, even for, HIPAA, having that access to a little privacy, even if you're sharing a room. This was sharing a whole floor, like a ward. So it was very much different. And the care, of course, there was a doctor on the unit, and not multiple doctors, but there was a doctor on the unit. So we know that they don't have access to the necessary care that we have in the U.S., whether fighting any chronic illness or even fighting particularly this new COVID that a lot of people had to be hospitalized for in the beginning of the pandemic. So it's a little bit different. So doing this program, we actually was able to provide health kits as well as educational information at our sessions, but we provided health kits. Gave thermometers, we gave 100 health kits, as well as 70 backpacks so they can prepare for school, heating pads, other health needs that they may also need, healthcare needs that they may also need. And we wanted to make sure we had snacks. We had a grand time in just spending time learning and also sharing resources. So this One Love program have been a benefit to those living in Jamaica. And we hope to also expand the services there, and be able to go down to Kingston and be able to provide other educational sessions as well as resources. So we're hoping to do more, but of course we depend on, donations in order to support the program down there. And that was one of our struggles, but we made it through this particular year. So I'm thankful.
All right. Thank you so much. Carla, can you tell us your website and or Facebook page?
Yes, it's kidsconqueringscd.org. So that is our website. And we are currently looking, if you saw in the video, there was a young lady that I was able to meet with her mom. We were supporting parents. I met a young child that was 10 years old that I visited in the unit, and sadly she passed away yesterday. And battling sickle cell, and she had a severe, stroke that pretty much left her non-mobile. When I saw her, she was able to move her eyes and, able to move her head, and but non-verbal. Now, this was a child that was, walking, talking, and there was preparing. Her mom was preparing for her to, enter school this school year. So just to show the severity of sickle cell and what complications that can occur. Now we have a 10-year-old girl, her mom's only child, that her mom is now preparing for funeral arrangements. On my Facebook page, you will see that I'm collecting donations for this mom for the funeral of Asha K, which is her daughter's name. You can also donate via our Cash App, which is Kids Conquering SCD. And we are taking donations in order to assist. The work continues here and abroad, and it's just by the grace of God. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and we continue to do the work that's necessary. So I thank you for your support. And if you find it in your heart to donate, I would greatly appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And that was Kids Conquering SEC. Sam, Egg, Sam.
Kids Conquering SCD. Sickle cell disease, standing for sickle cell disease. So Kids Conquering, S is in Sam, C as in cat, and then D as in diamond.
Okay, SED. Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Thank you so much, Carla. And so we know that we have a champion working on sickle cell here and also in Jamaica. Thank you very much. We're going to jump on to our next guest, Miss Andrea Jackson. And Ren, we're gonna leave you because ladies first, right? So
I'm very comfortable with that.
Okay.
What can we do without our ladies? Nothing.
You see? All right. So we're gonna jump to Miss Andrea Jackson, and she is every year in Jamaica with Vacation Bible School. I know we all remember doing Vacation Bible School growing up. Makes such a difference, over the summer. And so you'll get her 10 minutes to tell us about her work and what led her to being back home. And we have to say she looks fabulous in her beautiful attire.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it because last week, this time, Saturday, I was in Jamaica, in Montego Bay. And you know, as you ended, Carla, as far as saying conquering, and in order for me to conquer as far as what I do, I have to conquer it with the Lord Jesus Christ. And the Lord says he will make me fishers of men. And he's going to make all of you out there fishers of men as well. And you know what scripture I always think of is a scripture, my favorite scripture. And my favorite scripture is Psalms 37 verse 4. And it says, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And when it comes to giving us the desires of our heart, he will give it to us over and over again. Just that we have to trust him. And that's what I have to do. As far as over the years of doing Vacation Bible School, there were hard times I went through, certain times when I went, and there were good times as well. But I think over the years, the good time has conquered as far as the bad times. Now, when I started off Vacation Bible School, as a matter of fact, I used to go to Jamaica just to go there for vacation, for Sunfest, for Sunsplash, for all those type of things. But then the Lord worked on me, and he decided that enough is enough of that. You can go and have vacation, but I want you to go to Jamaica and do Vacation Bible School. And that's what the aim was, for me to go to Jamaica and do the Vacation Bible School. So I started out, first of all, I'm from Jamaica. I'm from Montego Bay, Jamaica. Born on Hart Street, grew up in Peddlers Lane right there, almost across from the Cornwall Regional Hospital. So then when I was there, I went to Calvary Baptist Church, and then when my mom migrated in 1967, that's when I went to the Mount Salem Open Bible Church. So then I did have those young years in Jamaica. So at 11 years old, I migrated to Brooklyn, New York. But you know what? I look at those years, those early years as far as with church, the upbringing, and all those years I remember people coming to do mission trips and would come to the church and sing songs and do all sort of stuff. I said, but wait, you know what? I need to be doing that as well. I need to go to Jamaica. Because I find the things that were planted in you at a young age, it does make a difference. It does make a difference in your upbringing and your children's upbringing as well. So if I feel that others came to Jamaica, you see all the white people all the time, Caucasian, they were out there at Jarrett Park and different places, and they came out there. So why can't I do the same thing? So I started out just bringing my one suitcase. Then I started to bring 2 suitcases. But then someone said after a while, you know, them 2 suitcases and stuff not going to do. So then I needed to start bringing barrels of stuff. And that's what it ended up. But then I realized also that the Lord wanted not only for me to be involved as far as with Vacation Bible School, but to involve my church in it as well. So the church started to be a part of it. And they started to give too. And I noticed my girlfriend, she was doing it, Pansy was doing it, and she's the one that brought me on. And you know, I was doing arts and craft with her. So that's what we were doing, arts and craft. But then I realized that they weren't getting backpacks and school supplies. Maybe they did it in other areas of the church. But then I noticed that I feel that what can I do but bring backpacks as well? So it started to bring 1 barrel, then I moved up to 2 barrels, then 3 barrels, and it kept on moving up. And it depends on, and you know what I felt that the Lord had done? He positions you in certain places, certain time. Because over the years, all them 31 years of teaching, the Lord allowed me to be in the school system and allowed me to see how to get donations, because I was a Partners in Ed coordinator, the volunteer coordinator. So those things, they were part of arranging my assignment in life, what I was going to do. So it meant for me, as a part of my assignment, know how that I can learn to beg. As a matter of fact, I used to get the best beggar award, because when it comes to begging, I knew how to beg, and there was no stopping me, because as they would say, squeaky wheel gets the most oil. So you're not only going to ask one time, you're not going to ask 2 times. You have to ask over and over and over, Carla. Yeah, man, it's a lot of work in doing that. So after a while, I was doing it. So the children would even, when I would go to Jamaica, they called me Auntie Andrea. And a part of the desires of my heart was also to show that love and kindness. I didn't want the children to feel that the only reason they come into Vacation Bible School is to get goodies and to get food and, you know, the lunch and whatever. And then even over the years, I remember Lady D, she says, Andrea, maybe you need to move up to KFC chicken. And I moved up to KFC. So they started to get KFC. So a whole heap of them now would come. So the increase of the amount of children in Vacation Bible School, it increased. But I find that it does make a difference as far as what we do. If we can make a difference I used to make a difference in my, here in Orlando doing Vacation Bible School, so why not go to Jamaica and make a difference as well? And that's what I was doing. And I really thank God that he not only gave me the opportunity to do it right there at the Mount Salem Open Bible Church, but it expanded, especially during COVID time. You'll think that, you know, we can't do Vacation Bible School, so you're going to find so many excuses why we can't do Vacation Bible School. But every year I was out there for the last 3 years, nothing stopped this, you know, no excuse. So I kept on going, and the Lord has allowed me to do it, and has allowed me. And to me, what is the key is he said he'll make me fishers of men. He will show me what to do. He has planted certain seeds in me that allows me to do what I'm doing. And so I thank God for all. I thank God for those who, and even with the radio program, I do a radio program every Thursday night called Star, which is straight talk with amazing reality with me, Miss Jackson. And with doing the radio program, who would think that assignment of doing the radio program would also help Vacation Bible School, and not only help the children moving it, not only from doing it at just one particular church, but Vacation Bible School went, we started doing it on WhatsApp. So then it's not only the children there in that area was open up to Vacation Bible School, but all the children them were open up to it. All they had to do is come and pick up the packets, the arts and craft packets by the church, and then they could do it as well. So I'm telling you, even with COVID didn't, as I said, no one monkey don't stop no show. COVID did not stop the show. It did not stop Vacation Bible School. It still allowed me. Even when I think this year I brought down 4 barrels and 1 box. But then the funds increased. So then you still was allowed to give the children the Kentucky Fried Chicken. And not only that, I went to this other area that I went last year and I was able to go again this year. And it's Canterbury right there in Montego Bay. And people don't go into Canterbury and stuff like that. But the Lord allowed me to go there 3 days. And I remember last year I said the same thing to the Lord. I said, Lord, you said you'll give me the desires of my heart. And the desires of my heart is also to have face-to-face. This kind of, the WhatsApp will do, but it's not enough. So the Lord allowed me to still go out and still do Vacation Bible School. Not only to do it WhatsApp and videotape myself and it would show it each day, but also to do it there in Canterbury. And the children there, they do not have as far as the needs are great. So they gave them breakfast in the morning when they came. The first morning they had cornmeal porridge. Then the second, and then they had lunch. But just to let you know that all things are possible with God and nothing is impossible. And the Lord will bless you no matter what you do. Whatever you do for him, to me, he works it out. He is the one that works it out. Thank you so much. I hear the dog trying to call me too.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Andrea Jackson. And again, her show is Star. What's your Facebook? Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, I do a Facebook page. It's on the Star. It's STAR, Star, Straight Talk with Amazing Reality. And I do have a Facebook page as well. So I do all of that. And I thank God that he has given me. And I thank God for you, Carla, that you haven't given up. Because you can't, when it comes to doing whatever you can for your home country, your birth country, you have to do it. And you can't make the excuses.
Blessings. Thank you so much. Y'all can tell she's a radio broadcaster, right?
Thank you.
And it's okay. We know the dog is in the background, but he's gonna fall back asleep, so you can chime back in. So thank you, Champion. So we heard from Champion Carla Lewis, Champion Andrea Jackson, and we're going to move to Champion Lorna. If Lorna is ready, then we're gonna go to, oh, Lorna Shelton. There's two Lornas. So Lorna Shelton, are you ready? She may have stepped over.
Okay, no, I'm here. I'm just undoing all the do's. Hi, good
I know,
evening.
right? So
Yes.
welcome our next champion, Lorna Shelton Beck of the Shelton Project. So you have 10 minutes to tell us about how you champion for Jamaica.
Okay, so I'm gonna need your help because I didn't know before it was 10 minutes. So you may have to just kind of watch
Okay.
the time for me, okay?
All right.
So my nonprofit organization is called Healthy Lifestyle Network. And I live in Charleston, South Carolina. So I conduct programs in Charleston, and I am from Port Antonio. So I conduct the program in Port Antonio. The program in Port Antonio now is the Shelton Project. We operate under 7 pillars. So we kind of cover the entire gamut of the whole lifestyle of the child. We do programs to incorporate the family and the children. So we started out with the infant and basic schools in our town. And so we had 10 infant and basic schools as part of our program, where it was a 4-pronged program. So we encouraged the schools and the children to plant stuff. We had them planting trees, flowers, vegetables, and fruits. We introduced football. So this was the very first organized sporting program for these little kids. So, you know, they had football for the older kids. They had nothing for the little kids. We started the football program. And we do reading. So we would build libraries within the school. We provide them with the books. So all the programs, we provide what's necessary. So for the planting, you know, we would give seeds and plants, actually get plants. We'd work with the 4-H and RADA and encourage the planting of the stuff. For the reading program, we provide the books. For the football, we give the goalposts and the footballs and stuff. As a matter of fact, we were the first person to introduce size 3 footballs because everybody thought they just know football as one size. They didn't even realize that different age kids need different size balls. So we did the football program with the school and the reading program, and nutrition. We tried to teach them about healthy eating. Our goal was to encourage them to eat more fruits and vegetables and minimize all the sweets. As you know, we are a country of a lot of sweets. And their parents who don't eat certain things, and as a result of that, they don't really introduce their kids to it. So our goal was to introduce the kids to different things. We introduced them to yogurt. There are some kids who had never heard of yogurt. We did yogurts. We do all various types of foods to get them interested. We conduct a summer camp, and our summer camp goes from age 4 to adults, adult women. So for the youth and the women, we do an entrepreneurial program. We teach quilting, basket making, bead making, and jewelry making. And the whole idea is to help get some of these women to learn to make stuff that they in turn could develop their own little cottage industry. So they could then sell stuff to have some extra funds for themselves. The youth could do the same thing. The first year we had several guys because we had an entire football team that came. The coach wanted his boys to come and learn stuff. So they came and learned to make quilts, they make quilted cushions, etc. Well, we have not had an entire football team since then, but I just thought it was interesting that the coach saw the benefit and had the entire football team to come and be a part of the program. Over the years, we have evolved. We now work more with the primary school kids, and the what was the 4-prong program is now 7 prongs because we cover every area. We work with the same thing. We work with all the same things, planting, football, etc. But now, in addition, we have started a chess program. And so we're providing the schools with the chess sets and the instructions for them to learn. We have a gentleman that's working with the kids, and we're about to embark on an educational program where we can get the schools, teachers, and parents who want to learn, so that there be a backup situation and a more consistent thing, because if it's only one person, he can't be everywhere at the same time. So they've started the chess club. So he's able to go to the chess club and work with the kids. Very important step that we made starting in 2017. And in 2017, we started with the working to fight child sexual abuse and human trafficking. And so our first year we did the conference with women and girls were the audience for the conference. We roped in some of the ministers within the community. We took down some part of the Methodist church in my home. I'm part of the Methodist church and the Catholic church. So we got them to come in, and they had some, we had a minister that was at the Methodist church that moved back to the States. So she actually came down to help us with that program. So we worked with the women and the girls. And I have to tell you, if a woman or a child has been sexually abused, if they don't get the care that they need, if they don't get the opportunity to excise that wound, it stays with them. And it was amazing how we had these grown women who had been abused as youngsters, and how it all came flooding out at the conference. People shared stories. Nobody was forced to talk. People who felt the need shared their story. And as a result of all that, we actually reached out to the psychiatrists and at the hospital and the psychologist to then do follow-up care, because once you start, you open up that wound. We're not there to counsel these folks, so then we have to get other people. And of course, we went in with guidance counselors, so we had those for the children. But when we saw the effect on the women, the grown people now who wouldn't be exposed to guidance counselors, we had to call in more adult care to provide aftercare for those women. So then that taught us a lesson that, whenever we have our conference, we must make arrangements. Good thing that we had worked with the matron at the hospital. I tried to bring in as much on the ground support as possible when we go and do things. Because like I said, we go, we work for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, and we leave. And there's always stuff to be done after we're gone. So we're in the habit of trying to get people on board. I usually take on a lot of medications, you know, several $1 million worth of medication that we give to the health center. So that goes to the doctor. So we work with the doctor at the health center because we provide diabetes education and care, and for diabetes and high blood pressure, which are two of the big chronic disease that they have in Jamaica, well, among the Black population. So then that way, when our doctor gives them a medication, then the health center will have the backup to continue that medication. So that's part of what we do. We have since the 2017, we have started a Stand Up for Children weekend. And so our weekend program now, we have the conference for girls, and you can't expect things to work if you don't counsel the boys. So we have a conference for the boys, and it's titled Raising Kings, because we really want to teach the boys how to have that self-confidence, how to learn those mannerly ways, and how to treat women. So we're raising kings. So we get male support to work with the boys. You know, they see a lot of female, they hear a lot from female all the time. When they have this man time, they need men to talk to them and to model whatever we're trying to teach them. So we have boys conference, girls conference. Then we use a program that's in the United States called Darkness to Light. It's all about working with people who have been abused. It's about teaching adults how to recognize sexual abuse, and most importantly, how to speak with someone who has made that declaration. Because one of the worst things that can happen is for a child to say to an adult, their parent or otherwise, that they have been molested, they have been assaulted, and for that adult then to look to that child and say, you're lying, it's not true. Mr. Brown would never do that. Uncle Tom would not do that. That's one of the worst things that you could do to a child. So it's teaching the community how to recognize some of the symptoms of child sexual abuse. And then when that child comes to them, what not to say, and then who to refer them to, because they may not necessarily be equipped to deal with it. But now we have that cadre of guidance counselors that they can call. We have the matron and the assistant matron that they can call. We also have CISOSA. We work within the systems that are there. So we have CISOSA, we have, the name has changed now, but it used to be the Child Development Agency. Now the two agencies have come together to form Child Protective Services. So we work with them. They're usually part of our program, part of our conference. So they too are involved. And then to end, we do a health fair. So we do something for the entire community. We take down the supplies that they need. We provide food. And the last day, we do a 5K race.
Nice.
And so we try to incorporate and include as many people as possible in what we do. And always with the message that child sexual abuse is wrong. They need to be mindful. They need to look out. Parents need to be careful who they allow to watch their children.
Right.
And let's see, what else do we do?
Well, we're right at time, but I know it's a short snippet, but can you tell us about how people can find you?
So we have a website called Healthy Lifestyle Network Inc. inc.org, because we're Healthy Lifestyle Network Incorporated. So it's Healthy Lifestyle Network Inc.org. And we do have Facebook page, which is Healthy Lifestyle Network.
Okay. Healthy Lifestyle Network Inc.
Yeah, inc.org.
Okay. Awesome.
And then Facebook is just Healthy Lifestyle Network.
This is such a great networking for all of you champions, because Lorna is out of South Carolina, so we have a lot of Florida people, but so it's good to be able to reach out, connect, and collaborate to see if she's planning something, we all can partner, and you can be share in different ways. So this is really important to connect, and it's a networking
Yes.
tonight. So thank you so much, Lorna. We really appreciate you.
And thank you. Are we going to have questions at the end? Because I do have a question for Carla.
Yeah. Yes. We're going to have questions. We're going to jump to Lorna Fairweather. And then we're going to give Ren a time to chat, since actually he was on like 10 minutes till 6. So we're going to jump to Lorna, and then we'll come back to Charlene and Doug. Welcome, Lorna Fairweather.
Very pleasant. Good afternoon, Donna. How are you and the rest of the team? I'm with the group. I'm Lorna Fairweather. I'm with a group called Friends of Port Maria. We have the New York chapter, which is where the organization originated. And then we have a sister chapter. Well, we had a sister chapter in Canada, but that ended. And we have the main chapter also in Port Maria as well. So it's Friends of Port Maria with two groups working together. We started in 1996, so we're in our 27th year. Our history is that we started as a not-for-profit, and we established it with a 501c tax-exempt status from the US side. And we're currently working on our charities registration here in Jamaica. Our general mission statement is to assist in the overall development of Port Maria and its surrounding communities by assisting with the quality of life. And we chose to focus with that mission more so on our educational aspect, and in so some of our local primary and basic schools. Our most primary project is the Port Maria Primary School. We have been helping them for the 27 years in varying ways, purchasing water tanks, getting the water to them, purchasing computers, purchasing supplies, helping to pay some of the costs when it floods. Right now, as we speak, on Monday, we go to clear a printer scanner, and that we purchased, donated by two members, Charlene Tate, with the secretary, and her daughter, Fredlyn Jean, because they had another flood in February, and there was a principal drawing some of the key documents, and we said, no, we have to change this scenario. And so the hope is that they would be able to scan most of their documents, and because of the geographic location, flooding is a periodic problem. So to address that. And our vision when we started was to look at varying levels of educational and economic and healthcare opportunities. And so we're pleased to say that we have focused on education for most of our years. However, though, in the last few years, we have taken on the focus on health. And with our newer member of Dawn Silvera, as a nurse practitioner, we started doing health fairs before COVID. We did 3 before COVID at local churches, Emmanuel Baptist in Port Maria, Church of Christ in Galena, for those of you who know the St. Mary side, we're focused in St. Mary, Preston Hill, as well as, Preston Hill, Masonal, Emmanuel, and Galena. Well, this year, though, was our first, where we had a community health fair along with a cultural presentation on Emancipation Day. And we provided meals, we provided 2 physicians were on board and 2 nurse practitioners, and we were able to see over 100 people for that day. And as one lady said, 100 was a good number for us to work with. But if you look at 100 people getting HIV testing, seeing the physician, seeing the doctor in terms of testing with the eyes, we had a nutritionist on board. And as one lady said, there's no way she would get all those services in one place and then feed us too, she said. So it has been that we have not necessarily done the hands-on program over time, but we have almost every year provided financial or resource assistance to our educational institutions. And we stand ready to, now we've launched a building fund. Again, because of the flooding, one of our primary buildings which house the first grade, 3 classes of the first grade, was literally knocked off the base. The government has fixed it up, but it's clearly a building that we've outgrown. And so there is a need to expand our space. We're in a building built for 600 students that was built in the 1960s. The population generally now is over 1,300. So it's blackboards that are utilized to divide the classroom and have 2 classes with 60-something kids in one room, meant for half the number. And so the need is there. There's no doubt about that. The need is there in terms of assistance educationally. And so we continue to assist. One of the special projects that I really want to mention is what we call a Learn It program, Learn It tablet. This tablet was developed by Joel Webb, who is from one of the small islands. The tablet is pre-programmed from 0 to 12. So you don't need to be on the internet in order to utilize this tablet. We brought 6 tablets down, and the core schools that we've been working with, the primary schools, we've given them a tablet so that they could start working with it and see what are some of the features that this tablet offers. And one teacher who was the first user of the tablet and came to the first orientation session was able to give an update to the rest of the new people who are exploring using the tablet to say her request is, when can they get more? So we're excited about that. And in addition, we're a member of an organization called UJA, Union of Jamaican and Alumni Associations, which is an umbrella group here in New York with some 62, 64 member organizations. And so, of course, we work collectively. UJA then has been helpful with the primary school initiative to cover the cost. So we pay for the tablets, we the varying primary schools, and then UJA would pay for the customs and clearing costs and working with NET, National Education Task Force. They are a quasi-government agency that works with groups that are shipping items to the various, whether educational or health institution. Well, they do education rather, stand corrected. And so in a nutshell, that's what we have been doing for the Port Marie and surrounding communities. And hopefully with a lot more assistance, our building fund can continue. And that's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. What was your website for your organization, or do you have a Facebook?
As we
Yeah,
speak,
your Facebook
our
page.
website is being, yes,
Yeah.
we have 3 new young ones, the college ones, and they are refurbishing, but we have 2 sites that you can get information on us. One is our Facebook page, so it's Friends of Port Maria, New York chapter for Facebook. And then under our partner's name, which is UJAAUSA.org, UJAAUSA.org.
Okay. All right. Yes, UJA, I know of them well. They are awesome.
Yes.
Umbrella to be under.
Yes. And
Well,
thank you for having us on your program. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, just to, so well, she's not the founder, your newest member, Dawn, her dad, or, you know, I remember her telling me who her father was. Do you know that information or no?
If I know.
Silvera, Dawn's father.
Yes.
You know, Louis, who's not on today, he would probably know, because I think he was a SCA. His name was, well, it's Silvera. So I don't know all the older individuals, if you guys know that name. Ren. So,
I mean, I to be honest, I know of him as a performer, but as much as I'm in Jamaica now, I've been living in the States for almost 50 years. So
right.
I'm just coming back and getting my feet wet. And I met Dawn when she joined the organization more so. So
Gotcha.
I've seen him perform at functions. So he's still out there and doing that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, thank you. And I'm glad that you were able to make it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Bren, do you mind hanging on one quick step? Because
Sure.
in Dixon, her internet where she's at is a little unstable. So if we can get her on and then back to you, Bren. Charlene, are you able? Charlene, are you able to join us now? All right, so she's me a thumbs up. So we'll go ahead and get Ren, Mr. Renford Jeffrey, True Love Revolution. And see, you know, tell us how you are a champion. I know what you've been doing, but tell us about, you know, and if you can in 10 minutes of how are you being a champion. And you should know that you were of diaspora from Canada back to Jamaica. So tell your story.
Yeah. I didn't know I was a champion until you said so. So I don't view myself as being that.
You're all champions, trust me.
Anyway, thank you. But sometimes I'm here listening, and sometimes you think you attend a program for one reason, and you find out that is not the reason. So I'm here listening, and I think I'm here to present what I'm going to say. And when I'm listening to, for example, Carla, I just want to thank everybody that is doing so many, and there are so many people who are doing so much. And then it makes me look like I'm not doing anything compared to what they're doing, because I'm so overwhelmed and I'm really so touched. And before I go any further, I have a radio program every Thursday, starting about a month now or 3 weeks ago, on every Thursday on CRR FM, The Love Revolution. And I'd love to invite Carla for a few minutes to talk about what she's doing, the sickle cell. I'm a nurse by profession. I spent 37 years. So I'm intimately acquainted with healthcare and health services. And overwhelmingly, everybody who I hear talking, it's primarily regarding children and youth, but that's where the need is. So I actually took a break and I actually went and picked up my Bible because there's a favorite scripture in the Bible taken from Mark chapter 10, verse 13 to 16. And everybody knows that because that's what the scripture that they used to bless baby. Jesus was walking, let me paraphrase it. Jesus was walking with a multitude of people, a throng of people flocking him to touch him and all of these things. And these ladies were bringing children to Jesus for Jesus to touch them. And the disciples, you know, the disciples who were following Jesus, who were Jesus, they were so insensitive. They were actually pushing back these ladies and like they're saying, like, basically they're saying, Jesus didn't have time for children. When you're bothering children with Jesus. And the Bible said that when Jesus saw it, he was much displeased. And let me tell you something about the Bible does not waste a word. So when the Bible didn't say Jesus was displeased, you know, it said he was much displeased. That means if Jesus was a Caucasian, he would have turned pink or blue. He was so upset. And he said, let the children come to me and do not hinder them, for such is the kingdom of God. And the Bible says he took them up in his hands and he, one by one, you know, and he blessed them. The word bless means to attach a very high value to someone. And that's what Jesus, so Jesus was setting an example for us and said, children are important. And I'm telling you, if we had invested time and resources and energy in our children from years gone by, we would not even see half of the problems that we are having right now. And I want to tell you, I have narrowed down my interest. When I came to Jamaica, well, let me give you a little, I went away like maybe 30 years ago. I'm a registered nurse by profession. I work in addictions and mental health for 7 years in Jamaica, Bellevue Hospital, and I went away to Canada for 30 years. And within the last maybe 5-6 years, I got the impression that God really wanted me to return to give back to Jamaica. Because even if I believe that God was not sending me back to Jamaica, I of myself said Jamaica did so much for me. I got free education. They paid me. All right, where in the world right now do they pay you to be a nurse? So I was paid. Every 2 weeks, I got a salary. I got free clothes, shoes, lunch every day, free. So I said, even if anybody didn't tell me to come back, I must give back to Jamaica. And everybody in the diaspora, as long as you were born in Jamaica, Jamaica played a role in your life, whether it's basic school, primary school, whatever. And I understand that the diaspora is 3 million strong. And if every single person say, you know what, I'm going to come back and do one thing, because guess what? If you come back and you want to do everything, you're going to be burnt out because it's so overwhelming. And 1 year I came here and I wasn't doing so well mentally. And I was depressed. And I'm like, because every single turn and corner, the need is so great that you're going to get burnt out and overwhelmed. Because it's as if you're trying to use a teaspoon to bail out the Caribbean Sea. It's too overwhelming. So I have narrowed down my focus, and I came back and I was doing lots of things because there's homelessness. So I was feeding homeless people. There's people with mental illness. There's single mothers. There's children abuse. The need is so great. Right. But I have come to the conclusion, and this is what God has called me to narrow my focus on children and youth. And God usually calls you to what he brought you out of. So I came from the inner city and I know what single parenthood is like, and I know what poverty is like, and I know what walking barefoot like, and I know what being called nicknames and being bullied is like. So I can identify with that, and overwhelmingly, I'm reaching out to the ones who are less fortunate, who are marginalized. And also by virtue of my psychiatric experience, I want to tell you that mental illness is an epidemic. It is actually a pandemic. The World Health Organization, in 2004, long before COVID, the World Health Organization predicted that by year 2020, we will be spending more money treating mental illness than all disease combined. And welcome to the reality right now. I have 10 minutes, but I just want to give you a little story. Yesterday I was so I'm all over the place. I'm in Spanish Town, I'm in St. Mary, I'm in St. Catherine, just going into inner cities, connecting with basic schools, connecting with the police, like I don't drive. And so I actually take taxi. And the advantage that gives me, I told Dana, I'm not on the ground, I'm in the ground. I'm listening to people. Because you have to be, that's one thing with Jesus. Jesus could have come on ridden on a chariot, you know. No, he walk foot and ride donkey because he mixed with the people and you understand what's going on. So I'm listening to taxi driver, I'm listening to everybody for you, because in order for you to have a solution, you know, you must have an understanding of what the problem is. When you go to the doctor, he have to listen to you and take a history before he can diagnose you and treat you. So there's no way you can go away for 30 years and come back and say, I know what Jamaica problem is. So it took me like 2 years of going around to get my finger on the pulse of things to say, yes, I can understand what is going on. Because there's always a reason for everything that you see. Even with the, and I'm going to say something very, very harsh. And it's not going to come over very well. Even some of the murders that are taking place, some of the murders, like God, actually, if you understand why they actually took place, you will understand the whole dynamics of it. Because I'm telling you right now, if somebody actually wipe out your whole family innocently, and you hear that somebody take the person out next week, you're not going to shed a tear, basically speaking. And many of these things going on, you need to understand the dynamics of what is happening. Some of the murders are 20 years in the making. I am not agreeing with it, you know. Somebody got killed 20 years ago and the child grew up and there's nothing but love, nothing but mercy and forgiveness. And this person went on and think that they're okay, and 20 years later they get killed. So you think it's something next week. So you have to understand the dynamics of what is going on in Jamaica to understand. But I'm just going to wrap up and say, I believe that we should have a directory of community resources. We have something like that in Canada because there's so many. Now we have internet, we can put it all on one page or in a book where, because I'm listening to everybody and you're saying great things, but we don't know about it. And people all over don't know. And guess what? Jamaica is so difficult to navigate when it comes to accessing service. Oh my word. I am having trouble and I'm an adult. Can you imagine a little boy in the inner city or a little single mother? And we have to, the place is so hard. We have to find ways to get information to people. So I'm going to propose that we should come together and get a website going that somebody can click on it. So whether it's healthcare, you can click on it, whether it's homelessness, whether it's mental illness, whether it's whatever, it should be at people's fingertip. And we can even put it into a booklet and we're going and distribute it to people. There are resources out there, but people don't know about it. And finally, I want to say I'd really love to reach out to Carla because I want to feature her on my radio program. And I want to help that mother. It's, you don't imagine, you can't imagine if you lose your only child just because the resources was not there to help that child. And Jamaica, it's woefully I appreciate what they're doing, but it's woefully lacking when it comes to healthcare. Oh my word. Oh my word, I don't even really want to go in it. I'm so broken up and said all 2022, and I think enough resources and time and attention is not being paid because you have some people when they get sick, they can jump on a plane and go to Miami for their treatment and come back. And the ordinary people down there, listen, there are some people who, because they don't have the money for the medication or they to stay on the dialysis, they actually die. And there's so much money around and it's not right. So Carla, I want to reach out to you. I want to reach out to me. I want to promote you on my radio program and see what we can do for what you're doing. Sickle cell is a very, very difficult thing. And we need to come together to see how we can support each other to make a difference. Teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you.
All right. I always say that. Thank you, Champion Ren. True Love Revolution. We're gonna jump on to our next champion, Charlene Dixon, because she's having internet troubles. And then again, you know, we'll collaborate at the end. So welcome, Ms. Charlene. How are you?
Thank you for having me. It's
Uh-oh. And you know, your internet.
the whole internet just show off the whole rhythm of the program for me. So I'm kind of like in and out, in and out. Each time it chip out, it's somebody new. So let me get right into it. I'm the founder of Bless to Bless Foundation, located in the parish of St. Thomas. It started in a small community called Trinityville. I'm not sure if you're hearing me or if I'm
Yes, yes.
We're hearing you, yes.
Yes.
She's gone again.
Give her a second. Good old Wi-Fi. And she said where she's at, it's raining pretty hard.
Yeah, it can be really choppy in Jamaica.
Yeah. So we're gonna give her a few minutes because it's probably, I see that we'll give her, yeah, I think she jumped off.
And Angela is online.
Yeah, I see Angela. Mr. Doug King. While we wait, and then we'll go back to Angela. Doug King, give us a snippet about you, sir.
If Charlene took down her camera, then she probably would be able to speak. You'd probably be able to hear her.
Yeah, let me text her and tell her that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on this evening. I'm not a part of the Black missionary group. It's so good to see so many Black missionaries on here and hear the wonderful stuff that they have been doing in Jamaica. I am not doing any such thing. I got this invitation to jump on and I said, yes, I had to come on to listen to exactly what was happening. So I'm one of those listeners that have been called out. But certainly it's good to hear what's happening in Jamaica and certainly to get that directory going so that more of the services that we're providing can be made available to persons. And I would really want to touch base with some of these persons here to see what they're doing in Jamaica and see how it is that I can, as they say, ride the bandwagon. Because right now I have nothing like of that going there. It's a thought as to what is it that I would really like to do, but right now I'm doing nothing of that sort. So if it is to ride a wagon now, I would certainly do that. So I'd love to touch base even with Andrea. There was something that came to my mind while she was speaking that we might be able to do. So if we can touch base, that would be great.
All right,
Thank
and
you.
Doug, you are here in the U.S. in Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm actually here in Florida. Actually, the only thing I do now is seek to how to protect persons. So that's a different story.
Okay, so we'll definitely get you connected and like Ren said, you know, and who else said that? I think Lorna Shelton said that we need more men. We do need more presence of men. You know, we as women, we're always in the mix, and that man, that young male need to see sometimes.
Yep.
Hear it. So you just volunteered yourself, your services. So thank you. While Charlene is trying to get back on, we have Charlene, I see.
I'm back.
Okay, let's try it without your video since your Wi-Fi is low.
All right, okay. So let me get right into it just in case anything else happens. So I'm the founder of Bless to Bless Foundation. We are located in the beautiful parish of St. Thomas. Started in a small community called Trinityville. We started 2018. And over the years, we have been doing children treats and fun days on New Year's Day, Mother's Day makeover for one hardworking mom. We have also given education grants to assist with exam fees and payments, covering medical expenses, scheduled feeding programs of shut-ins, street persons, and less fortunate, school, repainting, home visit to shut-ins to clean their home, groom them, prepare meals, etc. We also donated groceries when we can to family that is in need, educational supplies, and other random acts of kindness when the needs arise. And currently, we are in the process of getting our back to school, packing bags for students going back to school project, where we're asking persons to donate pack school bags or donate the school bags, and we persons to donate stuff to go inside the school bag. But if you wish, you can pack the bags with stationaries, personal hygiene items, underwear, etc. Or if you want to put tablet, shoes, just about anything in the school bag for a child between the age of 3 years old all the way up to 17 years old. And so far, we have packed around 10 bags, and we're still seeking more because the demand is really high on us, and we're just a small foundation. So basically that's what we're doing right now. And we're also seeking sponsorship to renovate the community center so we can start some skill training for young people in my community, because there's a lot of unemployed youths leaving school and just they're hanging around, sometimes get pregnant, and it's just lights away and like there is no tomorrow. So what we're trying to do is get this center renovated so we can start some training there, and also for homework center and just an area where kids can come and a safe space for them, counseling and just about anything. We're trying to change what the center was what once used for to something much more youthful for the young people, not just the young people, but also person that's no longer considered to be a youth that can come for assistance.
Charlene.
So that's basically what Bless to Bless is about.
Thank you, thank you. Tell us, you don't have to say the exact age, but tell us roughly how old you are.
I am 32, going to be 33 next month. And I've been doing this from I'm 28, I think. Yes. Or 27, somewhere there. I started pretty young. I don't remember my age right now because I'm getting old. But I started pretty young.
Roughly.
I started pretty young. The joy I get when I give back, it's I don't even know how to explain it. It's so much a part of me now. I cannot not try to do something, seek funding to help out somebody, no matter how small it is. It's just a part of me now to help. And I think I want to pass this down to my kids. I don't want them to stop it. I want it to move on to their generation. Just keep it going.
You know, I had to just, so Charlene is actually one of my ambassadors. So my organization, we support women, Bahamas, Bermuda, France, Germany, Guadeloupe, Haiti, Jamaica, Tanzania, Trinidad, Uganda, US, and Zambia. And Charlene is one of our ambassadors, outreach ambassadors that we support with whatever ways we can. Sometimes it's go back to school, Christmas, advisory,
drive, whatever.
Self-development, personal development, spiritual development, everything. And so it's so important when we see a young person giving back, because sometimes we do wait till we are, we've taken care of ourselves and our children and all of that. So to see that she's got a young family, it just has always touched my heart. So I always try to reach out to her for her to share her story. So thank you so much, Charlene. And she's connected with the youth, and sometimes our youth, they need to see someone her age, right? Because sometimes they just look at the older people like, oh, you guys have it figured. But when they see someone like Charlene that's doing it and doing her own business and able to still serve, that's a wonderful example. So we're always happy to support Charlene whenever we can. You don't have a website or anything like that, Charlene, right?
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. We don't. Even for email, it's currently down. And so I just use the Bless to Bless Facebook account, or you can just email me directly for the meantime until that resolves.
About the WhatsApp, telephone
Or,
number.
or I can, you can reach out to me and I can connect you with Charlene.
Yes, you can reach out to Donna.
Yeah, because she is in our Global Ambassadors WhatsApp chat. And so thank you. So let's move on to our next champion. And just like Charlene said, like for me, starting this, I have two organizations that I'm the president for, this Caribbean American Diaspora Alliance and Women of Culture Incorporated. And somewhere it's, God gave me the message to support those on the ground doing outreach, but not just here locally. The whole Caribbean aspect came, and then Africa, to be able to support women in Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, in Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad, Bahamas, and all of these women are in a chat together, sharing their story. I wake up just thanking God for how blessed I am, and asking God for wisdom and strength and finances and everything to be able to support our outreach ambassadors. So we're going to wrap up with Miss Angella Foster Mayne, who's Angela, can you come on camera? Let's just make sure. We'll give her a second. Angela is also the co-founder of True Love Revolution, and also she's one of our ambassadors for Jamaica.
Are you seeing me?
No, I can hear you, we can hear you, but your video is off. So you just need to turn on your video.
Yeah, show us your pretty face.
No.
There you go.
Okay.
There you are. Welcome, welcome. So tell us
Thank you.
a snippet, give us a few minutes of who you are and how you're being a champion in Jamaica.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing? And we're still celebrating independence, Emancipation independence. So let me wish you all a blessed Emancipation independence season.
Yeah.
So as Donna rightly said, but before I go any further, I really want to pick up Charlene. Such a powerful work she's doing, yes? Very, very powerful. And it would be nice, although Donna said that the young people need to see young faces, but I think as old as my face is, I think it would be nice still if Renford and I could reach out to her.
We should pay her a visit, Angela. We should drive down there to go look for her.
Yes.
Next door, St. Thomas.
And give support, yes?
Yeah, we're gonna come and check out Charlene.
Yes, very powerful work. Congrats.
Well, she didn't hear that. She actually got kicked off and she's...
No, the same thing. We have to go look for her. Yeah.
Okay, so who am I? I'm a retired inspector of police, and I have joined the Operation Rescue / Love Foundation through Renford. So Renford is the founder and I'm the co-founder, and we work together on various projects that is identified, or whether our somebody bring it to our attention, or we are able to identify various issues, challenges. For example, Ren and I was discussing only today about a young lady. I'm not sure I don't want to repeat the story. Did you tell them about it?
No, I didn't. I forgot, so you can repeat it to see how, yeah,
About
I wanted to, so repeat it.
About a young lady, a
Yeah.
young mother who has 2 children, and the eldest child, or the elder of the two, is
13.
13 years old, yes?
Yeah.
And he's suicidal. Now,
Yeah.
he was taken to the hospital to see a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist referred him to the police. Now, I don't know in a situation like that what the police should do, yes? But he was referred to the police, and Renford was at the station, and he took it on himself to try to assist with this young mother and her son.
Yeah.
So
they turned the phone over to me to talk to her right in the station. I was there on the spot.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
And so I got the opportunity to speak to her as well. And one of the good things she recognizes that some of the issues could be her fault because she probably shut herself in and somewhat isolate herself as well as the children, and it is impacting them because there's no social life. And the child is hearing voices, yes, to the point where you'd want to kill himself. So issues like this, we get on it and try our best to intervene, to come up with solutions to resolve issues like this. So presently now we are in connection with this mother and her child to help counsel and dissuade and interact and help her how to build external relationship. Because as I was telling her about the various organizations that she could join, yes, like 4-H, the little boy, not she, but the little boy, to get him involved for him to participate. Yes. So these are some of the challenges that we see out there, and we would interface with it or interfere with it to get it resolved.
That's our schoolwork, Angela. We go into schools,
visit the various
seminars.
Schools. We do seminars at schools, yes,
Teacher experience.
Meaningful seminars and getting involved in these children, yes. There's another organization that is called St. Margaret that we visit on a Friday, not just a Friday, but and these are children who are marginalized. So these are children who were dropped out of school and they are doing trade, getting a skill. But although they are getting a skill, they sometimes, the involvement that they are engaging in their inner city, you can see that the pattern or their attitude that they are not ready to walk the right road. Some of them have criminal intent, yeah? And we have to have session with them. One of them was telling me recently that he wanted to become a scammer because he thinks that would be a very good profession for him. So we have to think of creative way how to dissuade them from getting involved in that kind of activities. So that is a next arm of the Love Revolution, which is the School for Success, yes, where we create blessing plan for them and have sessions, sometime a central session with them or a one-to-one session with a child in order to dissuade them from doing some of the things and serve them ice cream, and because sometimes there's lack of engagement with other kind of society like us, or that they can understand that there's a better way other than the lifestyle that they're living. because sometimes the parents, and oftentimes these children feel rejected because there's no father figure in the house. There's no father for them to go to. Because even the same little boy that we are speaking about earlier, that I spoke about, a little 13-year-old who is suicidal, there's no father figure. The father is gone and he feels rejected. Yes? And as Renford alluded to earlier, that some of the criminality, it might sound awful, but some of these boys, based on my observation and my assessment, is as a result of rejection. So they did not get the type of love, no formal love, whether from mother, because the mother sometimes becomes frustrated and there's no father, and the woman keep having more than one children, yes? And then no, these children feel like that they are not wanted by society. So if nobody wants me, then I'll do something that will cause some amount of attention. People will notice me if I kill somebody. People will notice me if I rob. So these are the persons we are trying to reach in our small way. So in addition to that, we also have soup kitchen where we feed the homeless. Some of the homeless, we meet them at a central point downtown, presently downtown. So we would cook and give them. Renford used to do it every week. I am able to do it like on month end because sometimes lack of resource, but we try still to find food for them every month end. So those persons who are downtown. So pretty much I partner with Renford and he now he's in charge of a beautiful garden. I've not yet gone there, and he wants to incorporate it with Love Revolution, where these boys from St. Margaret can visit this garden, this beautiful garden, to encourage them to teach it. It's not the flowers garden only, but it's also a farm where they can learn how to farm and give their input in another side of creation rather than just generate energy in terms of badness and gun violence. So pretty much I work alongside with him and do that sort of work. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Angela. And so Angela, Renford, and Charlene are actually on the ground in Jamaica. Every is diaspora, going back and forth. So we'll have to connect Charlene. Well, actually, Angela, you and Charlene are in our chat, but yeah. So definitely have to just connect. Any questions as we wrap up? Any comments, Dr. Arlene Adams, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. I am just, what a delight, what a privilege and an honor to be here and to hear how God has given his people skills, talents, and abilities to, like what someone said, be fishers of men and to meeting the needs of the people because we are the hands and feet. I am just, as I listen to Carla, as a nursing background and have worked in a large institution, healthcare institution, and I've had, sickle sellers, we call them. They live there. And they used to, one of the doctors from Jamaica said, we don't have people living here, living there. They come and get treatment. But my heart is also touched because I'm wondering the impact of the COVID, and the assault on the, these children that have these impaired immune functioning. And also I was just wondering about with that young girl who passed away, if, with COVID, all of us were not as active as before. So I'm just wondering the impact of impaired mobility and nutrition and all that is impacting on the people. So my heart goes out. And as, mental health, I am a trained mental health practitioner. And so my heart goes out there because we know the problem is compounded with COVID. And so my heart goes out for all the people. So I don't want to be long-winded, but I'm just telling you, I'm broken right now. I just want to say that. Yeah.
Thank you. Charlene, I think you dropped off, and I was saying that we're going to connect you. Actually, is in the, well, she dropped off again. So I'll probably just message her. Good thing. Dr. Beck?
Well, good evening, everyone. Such a powerful message to our viewers and our listeners. I think everyone did their share, whether it's personal or God-driven, whatever drove you, is basically, it's a mission that's needed. It's something that's very much needed. And I know a lot of times there are other individuals who don't support or believe in the handout approach, but I am so glad that you guys have gone above and beyond education, handout, the teaching, everything that you guys have been doing. Miss Lorna B, she gave a mouthful about, I think she touched at least 20 different programs. And I was just thinking how she does it, right? So good. And Miss Lorna, Weather, what's her name? Fairweather. She, when she speaks with so much enthusiasm. You can see every word she said, she is just smiling because giving back is what she's doing. Whether it's in New York or back in Jamaica, I can just see the gleam in her eyes. And that is something powerful that our viewers, can be inspired. Like some of us here this evening were touched by each other. So that is also powerful. I was just wondering about the 7 flight that she said she took, or the 7 areas. That's also Miss Lorna B. But other than that, everyone did awesome. None greater than the other. It's a mission that you're on, and keep up the good work. Thank you so much.
Yes, and we'll definitely, so Mr. Doug, you'll have to, I'll reach out to you, and you can tell us, what you're interested in being a part of, and so the goal is to get everybody involved and to build that database. So when someone calls, we can say, in the area of this, in the area of sickle cell, in the area of mental health, the US organizations that we have, and then those are on the ground also. So we have more of a database for because it is hard to get through the red tape in Jamaica. So I just want to say thank you.
Donna, if
Yes.
This is Lorna Fairweather. I must also say, over the years, varying consul general in New York have been trying to compile this database of organizations. So there is something somewhere.
Okay.
It would be nice if, in fact, I'm not sure what the department is called, but the department that's responsible for states, Kamina Johnson's office, because they're also responsible for diaspora affairs. So it would be nice if we have a conversation with someone in that office to see if, in fact, what they have or what can we build on, because that's part of their charge, quite frankly.
Right.
They want to know us, then they need to be responsible to have varying directories.
Awesome.
So just a point.
All right, so I think that is it, everyone. We thank you for your champion work. Each one, teach one, and 1 + 1 is 2. So don't think that what you're doing is not enough. It is, and it's appreciated. And with that, we're gonna wrap up with Caribbean Diaspora Vibes. And
really quickly, sorry, Donna,
yes,
to
sure.
cut you off. I just wanted to add I had also put in the chat, there's a Jamaican diaspora in Jamaica, and they have a conference, annual conference. They had one last year. I believe they are also compiling the resources. This conference is well attended. It will be hybrid next year. It was hybrid this year. You can actually go on the website and see the conference from 2022. The next one is June 2023. I encourage everyone to tap in and attend it. And also, just because they also are compiling just resources for the community, they may also have a directory already that we can probably pitch in and also add to, especially if we attend and become a part of that. So just know the work don't have to be recreated. We can add to it and be able to pull from that to actually have a direct resource. So that is well attended, and I encourage everyone to get in actually look on the website and view the conference from last year and look forward to trying to attend for 2023. I think it's very important that we use the resources that are available.
Yes, I agree. And before I forget, Carla, I will be reaching out to you because next month is Sickle Cell Awareness, and try to lock down some, a Saturday or a time frame that you've got a few minutes to share with us. So thank you. Love and blessings, everyone. And until next time, have a good night.
Bye.
And thank you.
Bye.
Bye all.